Is this real, or are we witnessing an illusion too shocking to grasp? That was the question echoing through millions of fans' minds when a quiet rumor suddenly turned into a bombshell. Word spread, first softly, then like an explosion, that Jungkook had taken a massive leap, walking straight into HYB to confirm a decision that had only existed in whispers. A decision that, according to insiders, could reshape not only his career but the emotional balance between him and Taehyung. Why now? Why so boldly? And how did Taehyung find out so quickly that even his silence felt louder than any reaction? At first, the day looked completely normal. No announcement. No schedule. No sign that something seismic was about to happen. Yet, as always with BTS, the biggest turning points begin quietly. Jungkook stepped into the HYB building with slow, deliberate movements. There was no bright grin, none of the warm gestures fans love. Instead, there was something heavy behind his eyes, as if he knew the words he was about to speak would change everything forever. What was he there to confirm? Why did he arrive alone? Why choose honesty over the safety of carefully scripted statements? Even before the news reached the public, internal whispers revealed the truth. This was no ordinary discussion. It wasn't about schedules, projects, or casual career planning. It was deeply personal, something tied to his values, his future, and maybe even his connection with the people closest to him, Taehyung included. HYB was practically Jungkook's home. He grew there, struggled there, succeeded there. But that familiarity only made his step heavier. Every sentence he spoke would be dissected. Every tone, every pause, every breath, evaluated. His choice carried real risk. He wasn't just risking opportunity. He was risking stability, trust, and a sense of safety that had shaped his entire adult life. When the meeting room door closed, no one outside knew that a line was quietly being crossed. According to those who felt the atmosphere inside, Jungkook didn't raise his voice. He didn't break down. He didn't dramatize the moment. He was calm, steady, and unshakably honest. Honesty that had perhaps been held back too long. He confirmed his decision. He stood firmly behind it. And he accepted whatever consequences might follow. Executives were stunned, not because they misunderstood, but because they finally understood exactly how serious it was. But the real shock didn't come from inside that room. It came from what happened immediately after. Somehow, the news reached Taehyung at astonishing speed. And this is where everything grew even more emotional. Taehyung, someone known for wearing his feelings openly, showed nothing. No post, no cryptic message, no subtle expression to decode. His silence became the loudest part of the entire story. What was he really feeling? Hurt? Anger? Understanding? Only Taehyung knew. Insiders whispered that he didn't learn about the decision from rumors or news outlets. He learned through a much more personal channel. Yet his response, choosing to say nothing at all, left the fandom stunned. His silence didn't feel empty. It felt full of meaning. Heavy. Intentional. And fans sensed it. This wasn't just about a career shift. It was emotional. Deep. Human. People began to wonder whether Jungkook had considered Taehyung's feelings before taking the step. Had they talked about it privately? Did Taehyung know this was coming? Or was this truly a decision made alone? In the days before the meeting, Jungkook had noticeably withdrawn. Fewer appearances. Less interaction. A sense of internal preparation. Taehyung, meanwhile, continued his schedule but carried a subtle distance, something faint yet undeniable, as if he sensed something shifting beneath the surface. Then HYB's reaction added fuel to the fire. They said nothing. No statement. No denial. No tidy explanation. Their silence was louder than any headline. Some fans admired Jungkook's courage. Others worried he was stepping onto a path that could create deep emotional fractures. Meanwhile, Taehyung's every move was analyzed obsessively. A slightly thinner smile. A moment of stillness. A quiet gaze. Fans looked for clues everywhere, but nothing was certain. Taehyung's silence wasn't coldness. It was carefulness. And sometimes, the quietest reactions are the most sincere. Jungkook didn't immediately rush to clarify things either. He avoided half-answers and empty damage control. He chose patience even though silence often invites misunderstanding. That choice made everything feel even more intense. Fans wondered. Is this the start of a new chapter? Or a painful shift? Is Jungkook reaching for long-delayed freedom? And where does Taehyung stand in all this? As time passed, the situation felt like an emotional jigsaw puzzle, each person holding a piece, none revealing the full picture. One thing was clear, Jungkook was ready to face whatever came next. And Taehyung's silence, heavy and deliberate, carried its own message, one that felt almost like respect, or reflection, or pain quietly processed. Updates trickled in from HYB insiders. Jungkook's meeting had sparked bigger discussions about artist autonomy and the evolution of long-standing systems. Not rebellion, recalibration. Not chaos, maturity. Taehyung's presence, meanwhile, became paradoxical. He showed up, he worked, he fulfilled every responsibility, yet emotionally, he remained unreadable. Not distant. Not dramatic. Just restrained. And coming from someone who is usually expressive, that restraint spoke volumes. Rumors tried to fill the silence, but none of them felt convincing. What mattered weren't the theories. It was the subtle signs, Taehyung's thoughtful pauses, Jungkook's reflective demeanor, the way neither of them rushed to feed the public narrative. Their history made everything heavier. Years of practice, shared exhaustion, laughter, victories, moments of vulnerability that only teammates understand. You don't stand beside someone that long without feeling the weight of their choices. Fans revisited old interviews and interactions, hunting for hints. Was this decision sudden? Or had it been building quietly? Weeks passed, and emotional intensity softened into something deeper, reflection. Jungkook's choice was no longer seen as a risk alone, but as growth. He stepped into self-leadership. He wasn't the youngest member being guided anymore. He was guiding himself. Taehyung's silence also evolved. It didn't fade, it settled. It became almost grounding, as if he was processing everything with maturity instead of impulse. Behind the scenes, work continued smoothly. No conflict. No avoidance. Only professionalism, almost too professional. That detail confused every dramatic theory. If there was tension, it wasn't destructive. It was thoughtful. Eventually, something became clear. This wasn't about a fracture. It was about adjustment. Growth is messy. Honesty is uncomfortable. And change, especially between people who grew up together, takes time. Fans found themselves watching not for drama but for understanding, sensing that both Jungkook and Taehyung were navigating something deeply human. Some stories don't end with announcements. They end with growth. And this moment, quiet, emotional, and uncertain, feels like the beginning of a new chapter neither of them is ready to explain yet.